Before I get into this topic, I just want to say rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. I found this out today when I was at the pool lounge playing pool, and I saw them talking about this on the news, and I had to get my quick thoughts on this. And honestly, this might be the most controversial video I've ever done, but it's based on my experience and my opinion on Hulk Hogan and why I personally thinks he is a prejudice against blacks, and there's a reason why people just don't like him. You've seen it in Raw when they aired an episode in California. Like, we don't rock with race people. We don't rock with prejudice. And I'm not from California. I'm from DC. Based on what I'm seeing on TikTok, the crowd booing him, and you can kind of see that they just don't like prejudice at all. I mean, we can't just forget about some of the racist comments he made about black people. You know what I'm saying? I remember a time when he had a restaurant out and his dress codes were no do-rags allowed, which is targeting black people. So that's pretty much is discrimination at that. And I remember a time when he didn't like the fact that his daughter was dating black people, black men. And I'm not surprised that he was also a Trump supporter, which no surprise in there. The stuff that this man did behind the scenes, and a lot of people in the WWF and E did not like working with Hulk Hogan because of him lying about every single situation. Like, I remember a time when he lied about The Undertaker almost injuring him at Survivor Series 91. You know, when they faced off against each other for the WWF title when Undertaker won. And Hulk Hogan mentioned something about how he almost broke his neck while he gave him the tombstone power driver on the steel chair, which it didn't really land, so it landed safely because both of his knees were between his legs. Between his head, So, I saw all of this on Twitter. WWE announcing the passing of Hulk Hogan. Yes, he may have some iconic matches, iconic moments, such as when he turned heel in WCW 96, teamed up with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall to become the NWO. I remember that. That was iconic. And his run in TNA was also iconic. His rivalry with the Joker Sting. Like, who remembers that? So just because somebody who was a known racist and prejudiced passed away doesn't mean I should be showing empathy and sympathy for them because of what they've done throughout their history. So I waited all day to make this video because I think there's more discussions need to be made about racism in this world. So we all knew that he was a prejudice back then and now, involved in a sex tape scandal, which was confirmed to be him anyway. And not only that, when he cheated on Linda Hogan, his ex-wife, for whatever reason, I don't know. But yeah, he died at 71 years old. And yeah, 2025 is pretty rough. Because of we're losing so many syllables. 2025 is pretty much looking rough at this point because we're not only losing a lot of celebrities, but we're losing legends So let's dive into the article. Hulk Hogan, the wrestling icon and actor who became the most recognized star in the sports, has died. He was 71. According to the Clearwater Police Department in Florida, Hogan died this morning due to cardiac arrest. He was treated by a rescue crew before being taken to the hospital. With Hogan born Terry Jean Bollea, grew up in Florida. The WWE Hall of Famer, known for walking out to his theme song, Real American, representing natural patriotism within the wrestling world. He soared to fame in the 1980s after winning against the Iron Sheik and cementing Hulkamania momentum in one of the most cultural impact matches of his career. That fight made him the World Wrestling Federation's heavyweights winner. He later lost the championship title competing against Andre the Giant in 1988. Hogan stepped away from WWF, known as WWE, which is now today, in the 1990s after a steroid controversy. The 90s also saw the wrestler further his acting pursuits. He had already played a part in 1982's Rocky III, and his Hollywood career continued with roles in the 1990s Gremlins 2, The New Batch, 1991's Suburban Commando, 1993's Mr. Nanny, and 1996 Santa with Muscles. I saw a while back, and it was an interesting film, but I'm surprised this article was not talking about how The Undertaker was also had a brief role in the movie, but they gave him a kid voice, which is kind of hilarious. WWE is saddened to learn WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away. One of the pop culture's most recognizable figures, Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. WWE is condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans. The WWE wrote on social media. Hogan decided to fight for the World Championship Wrestling, a WWE competitor, in 1994. He debuted his heel persona, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, in 1996 and rejoined WWE in the early 2000s. In 2012, the online news outlet Gawker published a sex tape of Hogan and Heather Clem, who was married to Hogan's friend, Bubba the Love Sponge. Hogan then sued Gawker and won $140 million in an infamous legal fight that shut down the outlet and led to a debate over online privacy and First Amendment rights. Although Hogan was indicted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005, the organization removed that honor in 2015 in the light of his use of a racial slur and another sex tape. He was reinstated in 2018. Hogan was a supporter of Donald Trump and spoke in favor of the candidate at the Republican National Convention in 2024. Hogan is survived by his wife, Sky Hogan, as well as his ex-wife, Linda Hogan, and their children, Brooke Hogan and Nick Hogan. He and Linda Hogan's marriage lasted from 1983 to 2009. He was also married to Jennifer McDaniel from 2010 to 2021. And like I said, I'm not going to give him sympathy just because this is somebody who was a known racist and prejudiced against blacks. We can't just forget about what he's done behind the scenes in real life and the fact that he's a Trump supporter. You know, I just feel like, to me, when someone that is big as Hulk Hogan is suddenly passes away today, and I guess you could say he went out sad. And like I said, if you don't like this video, it is what it is. But I said what I said because because we have so many bad experience with Hulk Hogan, and throughout the years of him using racial slurs and being prejudiced towards people in general. So at the end of the day, nobody deserves to go out like that, but we have to remember what some of the stuff he's done. You know, yes, he has some iconic wrestling moments throughout his career, the 80s and 90s and the 2010s. We can't forget about that. But are we supposed to forget about what he said about black people? And I know I'm playing a race card, but sometimes when you see wrong, you're going to have to call it out. Call it what it is. So, link to the article will be in the description.